Hello there and welcome to the Trending Now podcast for this Friday, December the 22nd, 2023. It's the penultimate show of 2023. I always love using that word, so I get to do it today. And you might notice the set's a little bit different because we're doing things a little bit differently as we are joined by everybody here at the couch, the producer of Trending Now and co-creator, Laura Sebben.
Hello.
The host of Trending Now, Matt Ingram.
Hi.
And Manesa Dhanabalan is here with us as well. Manesa, how's it going?
How's it going? I'm good. You?
Jeez, you are really struggling today, aren't you?
Just a little bit.
I'm going to start this the way I've started every casual conversation, every chit chat, every small talk in the last 2 weeks. You ready for Christmas?
I am ready for Christmas.
Really?
Oh, I'm very ready. I've been ready.
Are you somebody who's always ready, like ahead of time, last minute?
Well, not so much ahead of time, but I do start like planning at the end of November because I don't want to be stuck like not getting what I want to get.
So you make a list.
Yeah.
Who you need to buy for.
Yeah.
Do you buy for all? So you have 3 sisters? Two sisters. Do you buy for each of them?
Yes.
Wow.
And then we split on my parents' gift.
Oh, Matt, you were at I saw your Instagram, you were at a third mall in the past 24 hours today, so I feel like I don't have to ask you.
I'm closer than I was.
Okay.
I'm closer than I was.
You're still not done?
I have one more thing to pick up after the show tonight, and then we're there, and then after the kids go to bed Friday night, the wrapping begins.
Oof. The
That's
wrapping,
kind of crazy.
Well, to be honest, this is better than normal because in years past...
Like Sunday night or
No.
Tonight?
Saturday night.
Oh, Saturday.
Okay, you said
Okay.
Friday, so I
Yeah,
was like,
sorry.
okay.
So tonight I got one more shopping. Saturday I'll do some wrapping, but to be honest, most of the wrapping will be done Sunday night.
Yeah.
Their mother and I don't typically get it going until they're to sleep. So that's like 8 p.m. on Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
My record is I stayed up till 4 a.m. building a kitchen set.
That's a classic.
My former father-in-law, thanks Marty, bought this kitchen set that had more pieces than a goddamn nuclear submarine. And it had to be done because it was from Santa.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Every kid needs that kitchen set, though.
Every
kid.
kid.
I have one.
What is it like buying toys for kids these days? Because I mean, I'm not there. Like I'm
So
buying
much
for
fun.
one.
Is it?
Like
It's so much fun. Yeah,
it's like
because
all
you
the
get
toys
to-
you didn't get that you're
Here's
buying.
why it's fun. Everything that was cool when I was a kid is cool again. So like Transformers is in, Ninja Turtles is in, even Ghostbusters was in a few winters ago. So I'm like fully 10-year-old Matt running around to Toys R Us with a credit card. Like that's like sounds amazing,
How about
right?
Easy Bake Oven? Is that still?
No, those don't exist anymore.
You have a good Easy
Same.
Bake Oven
We have
story.
a fake one. Do you?
Well, no, there's just
I was like, what? What?
Sorry, canteen talks are making their way onto the podcast
no.
now.
My sister, she
Are you
asked.
in trouble for telling the story?
No, I won't.
Okay, go for it.
She asked for an Easy Bake Oven one year, and I guess she changed her mind like late and like didn't tell my parents. And the Easy Bake Oven was supposed to be from Santa. So when she opened it, she wasn't too thrilled. And we have home video of my dad asking her, what'd you get? And she's like, oh, I got an Easy Bake Oven. I asked Santa for something else, but I guess it never came. And then kind of what you're saying, like the wrapping has to be done after the kids go to bed. My mom and dad, they just bought this giant sack and they would just put all the gifts in it and would just pull them out. So they never had to wrap them.
That's smart, actually.
So
That's
then my
cracking
mom
the
bought
code.
the extra cake batter that you need to actually use the Easy Bake Oven and had it in that sack. And when my sister pulled it out, she like deadpan looks at the camera and just goes, Easy Bake, I got another Easy Bake. And you just hear how irritated my mom is behind the camera. And it was just
My little brother cried
time.
getting
That's a good
socks
story.
once, and it's still to this day he gets socks, and we're all like, "Are you gonna cry? Are you gonna cry because you got socks? Are you gonna cry?" But like, it's one of those things that we have to make fun of him for.
Okay,
it.
sidebar.
He was like
then.
4,
Quick
though.
sidebar.
Yeah.
I know you got places to go. What's
Yeah.
the worst Christmas present you ever got?
Oh, you know what? I'm really hard to buy for. I know my mom's probably watching this because every year she asks, "What do you want for Christmas?" And every year I say, "I don't care." Like, I've never been like somebody who needs anything. Like, I've like, as someone who's been one of 6 kids, I've had to like be independent on my own. So I've always felt like I've done things for myself. So if I want something, I'll just buy it. Like I don't need to wait for Christmas for it or something. Worst Christmas gift probably socks. Like
Socks.
I mean, as a kid, socks. As an adult, all the socks, all the underwear, please.
useful.
Right?
It's useful.
It's things you don't want to buy yourself. Manesa, are you ready for Christmas? You were just talking about
I'm done.
You spent a lot of money? Was it expensive Christmas
I spent
for
a
you?
lot of money, and I finished all my Christmas shopping early because I don't like doing it last minute. And then just about 20 minutes ago, I got a call from Alex that he's at the store and he needs ideas. So now I have to help him do his Christmas shopping.
Yeah.
Even though I didn't want to do this, is what I want to avoid.
Wait, for you too? Is he asking you what
He got
you
my
want?
Christmas present, but then everybody else's, he's like, you still need to help me get it. I was
Wow.
like, we
Yeah.
had a whole
And
year
that's
to
your
do this,
significant
but a whole
other. For
year.
anyone at home wondering who Alex is,
Yes.
that's your significant other.
Because some people, like,
Unfortunately.
my family's doing Secret Santa because there's so many of us with like, my sister's husbands and my girlfriends and all that stuff. We do Secret Santa, so we pick one name, and I'm not going to spoil it, but the person I picked for, I had to ask somebody, being like, I know her, but like, what would she get? And the person told me a very specific item, and that's what I got.
Yeah, well,
but I had to
smart.
use my sister to get Amazon Prime because it was December 25th. It was Wednesday, and I needed it by Sunday. So
Wow,
that's how
like,
bad I am at
That's
Christmas shopping.
terrible.
Yeah.
I
And
did get some.
I-
Most of my gifts trickled in this week, but like that was just a trickle, and like they
Yeah.
were ordered ahead of time.
And I kind of ruined it for my mom today because I was at my parents before I came to work. And I was like, oh, where were you? She's like, oh, your sister took me out for breakfast. Like, it was nice. We went out for breakfast. I was like, oh, was that your Christmas present? And she's like, yeah. And I'm like, damn, I was going to do the same thing. Like, I guess we'll have to do it another time, Mom. Maybe next year. We're looking back. You guys have been working really hard this week on looking back on the year that was. When you were putting that together, how many times did you stop, read a story, and think, there's no way this was in 2023. Like, the past 12 months, everything that's happened,
Yeah.
Elon Musk, Taylor Swift, the actors strike, it's really been one of those years that you take a step back and you're like, are you sure that happened this year?
Well, I was blown away. Chinese spy balloon was all the way back in
what?
February. That
Yeah.
was February.
Yeah.
That's when we
felt like
launched. That's when we
decades ago.
launched the Trending Now podcast,
true.
by the way.
Was it? Oh,
Yeah, that was one of our
That
inaugural.
feels like so long ago.
Yeah.
I went back and found a story I did on the evening news about it, and I'm looking at myself thinking, oh yeah, that's got to be what, 21, 22?
Was that during COVID?
That's 23? What?
Yeah.
Like, blew me away.
Yeah, Manesa.
I don't, honestly, when you say Swift, I've had enough of Swift this year, just because I love Taylor Swift. I like
Do
her,
you
but
though?
this year has been a lot of Taylor Swift.
It's too much.
It's been a lot.
It's too
like
much.
one after the other. Like we've just been.
So this will probably have to be scrubbed from the internet, so people don't come after us individually for what we say about
Manesa's gonna
Taylor
get
Swift.
canceled for
Manesa's
Taylor
gonna get
Swift.
canceled. Listen,
My
I'm
Swifties aren't going to talk to me anymore.
I know. Yeah,
you've got some great
okay, to be
contacts.
fair,
You do. You have
I
great
have.
contacts.
Shout out to Sarah.
you have done 25, at least 25 Trending Now stories on Taylor
Yeah,
Swift.
which seems low.
Yeah.
Which is insane, because like in a normal year, you wouldn't be doing that many stories about one person, I would think.
I agree.
It's
with you,
really
though.
only
25
25
is low.
seems really low. Yeah.
Including the reels and everything.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
There might have been some there might have been more because we didn't start. I went through our YouTube because it's easy to do like a quick search of Taylor Swift.
Just a tip if you're ever
And
looking for a story.
We didn't start to post shorts until halfway through the year. So we definitely could have done reels that were never posted to YouTube before then, but yeah, it was about 25.
Because she released, she released a new album. She released a re-release, right? She went on tour.
Yeah.
She got nominated for a Golden Globe for a movie that she released, which was the highest-grossing box office concert series.
It was a new category.
It was a new
That's
category
right.
just to get her
That's right.
nominated. I'm very close to getting sick of Taylor Swift. Very, very close. Not quite.
Just wait
I still
until-
don't mind her songs. She thinks she's okay. Listen, I'm listening to the Taylor Swift Christmas album, which
Christmas
is
Tree
like
Farm.
which is like country Taylor Swift
Yeah.
too. Like it's early Taylor Swift. So
Yeah.
I'm not over it yet, but I could see less of her in 2024. That'd be okay.
I could as well.
Someone else I'd also be pretty excited to see less of in 2024, Elon Musk.
Oh, 100%.
Yes.
Elon Musk. He is the richest man in the world. Like that's a fact. SpaceX. It's just every story I read about him, I'm like less and less impressed. John Oliver on Last Week Tonight, I believe it was last week, did a full 30-minute piece on him. And again, it was like one of those things where you're like, okay, Elon did that. I can leave him in 2024.
100%.
Or 2023, excuse me.
He's like annoying, and he's like one of those people who just copies whatever like the cool thing to do is. Like
And now it's being what, a far right troll? Is that the cool thing to do?
Well, according to him.
Yeah.
Like, you know, he'll say one thing and then because people think it's cool to do the other, he goes back on it and then people bring up his old tweets and he goes, well, that's not what I actually, it's just, he's very insufferable. Like, the kicker for me was after he went to visit Israel and he went and he did a sit-down interview with, was it the Washington Post, I think? Something like that. And he comes out wearing like an airplane
bomber
jacket with like dog tags.
Yeah. Well, that was he did that.
Embarrassing. I don't know.
He did that New York Times. He did that New York Times interview with the, you know, Bob Iger. Go.
Yeah, that's the one
you're talking about.
Okay,
Yeah, he came out in the bomber jacket.
Washington or New York.
Yeah, and it was just like
It's got dog tags
Twitter,
on. Like,
Twitter's half the value it was when he bought it.
Well, and that's my
far
biggest
right.
problem.
Yeah, Alex Jones is on
what
it.
he's done to Twitter, because Twitter was a useful tool, especially for journalists.
Yeah.
I thought when they moved to the verification system, not the pay for verification system, the actual verification system, I thought that was useful. I thought that was going to cut down on hate speech. It was going to cut down on false information. It made a lot of sense. So then to just come in, blow it out of the water, now like the verification system's a joke. Like all of the blue
$9.99?
That just means you got money to waste because it's a completely useless thing to have. And then he's reducing functions so you can't DM certain people, which makes a difference because if journalists are trying to get in touch with certain people, one of the ways we do it, as you know,
That's the biggest
DM
struggle.
people,
Yeah,
right?
when you
and
can't
so now
DM them.
there's all these restrictions.
You need to
he
be
talks about
verified
it
to
being,
DM people.
You know, he's trying to increase free speech. I would say it's the opposite. I would say he's hurt speech on the platform. Plus, all these right-wing idiots seem to feel empowered to say whatever hateful shit comes to their mind.
I just saw a post today of a woman. She posted she had made a
the
tweet,
threat of like,
and the person said somebody replied to her wishing that she got like sexually assaulted and that like a murder threat, and she reported it and put a screenshot of her email back of Twitter saying, or X saying, this doesn't violate our.
Like that's
terms,
crazy.
like,
Is that not crazy?
Yeah.
Also, I mean, the fact we're calling it X, like, I mean, like, it's, I mean, like, it's little, it's little, like, it's such a little thing. Like, I mean, it's nothing in compared to getting, you know, threats of being sexually assaulted or killed. But also, like, what happened to the bird? What happened to Twitter? Like, you're just doing things.
Blue
just
bird. Like, still when like we look at our old B-roll of like you know, going through Twitter, you see little blue bird, and then it's like the little tweety thingy, and then now we got this big black X.
Elon Musk, no matter how much we think he's not going to go anywhere, he's not going anywhere. Someone else who's not going anywhere, who again dominated the headlines. He's dominated just about every headline since 2016. That being Donald Trump. And the issue...
Donald Trump
is the leading nominee to be the Republican candidate for president in 2024. We're looking at an election that's about 10 months away. How do you see this playing out? Matt, we'll start with you.
Okay,
Because
cool
this is nuts.
The lovely Laura assigned me to do the look back at Trump. And so I looked at some of the stats. And if you look at some of the polls, he was polling amongst Republican voters about 42% popularity for the presidential nomination back in February. He's now at 61 point something. So he's almost gone up 20 points despite being indicted 4 times, facing 91 felony counts. In the entire history of America, no president or former president has ever been indicted for anything.
Yeah.
This guy's indicted for criminal shit.
We've seen a mugshot. We've seen a mugshot of someone who served as president of the United States this year.
Could serve again.
Like, and could serve, but
Could serve again.
Like, is a 50-50 shot of serving again. Like, it's not like
in 7
depending on what polls
Like,
you're looking at. Like this, and that's what. Like, listen, 2024 is. I think it's going to put 2023 to shame in terms of, like, we'll look back on 2023 fondly. Like, if I'm going to make a bold prediction, is that we're going to look back on 2023 and think, remember the good old days? Like, remember the good, like, I'm scared, like, I'm not genuinely scared. I'm a little scared. I'm a little scared in what 2024
but, I mean,
could
this
hold.
whole presidential campaign that's coming up, it could be crazy. Because I remember in 2016,
That's what I'm saying.
I was working for another media company, I won't mention which, on this podcast, but covering the presidential nomination process, the elections. I was writing about it. I wasn't reporting on it, to be clear. But it was just this crazy feeling of, this is going to happen. This is going to happen.
Yeah.
And then I feel the same way again. Like, he could legitimately win.
And I think initially it was when he first got elected, it was funny, ha-ha. It was, you know, was it
What could he possibly
Ronald
do?
Reagan was kind of an actor, and then he got...
He was a big actor.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, and
so
he
we were
was
like,
the
we're doing
Make
this
America
again.
Great Again. He came up with that phrase.
We're doing this again. The Reagan era is famously called the Reagan era because of all the crazy stuff he did. And initially it was funny, ha-ha. And then the stuff that Trump started doing, everyone was just like, wait, what?
Well, this
like,
whole-
I don't think anyone was expecting some of the policies that he came out with, some of the rhetoric that he came out with, because he had the Make America Great Again phrase, but he didn't have any of those kind of extremist right-wing thoughts that we now are synonymous with him initially,
Yeah,
right?
but we're
Always
also
in the
talking
blood
about
of our
someone who
nation.
was a registered Democrat until 2008. Like,
Well, exactly,
This is a
and
guy.
I
This is a
think-
guy who, like, through the 90s, and you know, we can't really relate to that as people in our 30s and 20s. Like, no offense to people older than that watching. Like, I remember Donald Trump, The Apprentice, right?
Yeah.
That's where I pick up. That's not his start. His start is in the New York tabloids in the 80s and the 90s, and talking to anyone who would listen, and calling Howard Stern, and just wanting to hear the sound of his own voice. And it's the narcissism that's driving him,
Well,
right?
obviously,
Like,
but-
it
and
clearly is. Like, it's the name's Trump, but it's worked. Like, my thing is, I look at someone like Trump and think, am I doing it all wrong? Should I be just a giant douche? Because it worked for him. He was president. He
Well,
became
look,
president.
we're talking about him right now, so it's clearly still working. You know?
The
Here's the media attention.
Biden-Trump 2024. How do you see that shaking out?
I'm afraid.
Well, we're talking about two 80-year-old men, and is that really the best America has to offer? Is
Apparently.
two 80-year-old white men?
Yeah, what is happening? Like, I mean, okay, can we? The other thing I wanted to that kind of relates
Go
to
for
this
it.
is the Netherlands prime minister that he got elected. He looks like literally like he looks like a Trump lookalike. Like if you've seen him. And then what
The
was it? Argentina as
Argentina,
well.
yeah.
A lot of like
You think my hair
right-wing-
looks bad? People who complain about my hair on TV, you think my hair looks bad? Check out the president of Argentina's hair, because it's worse
I'm
than
sure
mine.
you want to open up that camera.
Okay, Manesa Dhanabalan, thank you for going. Let's tighten the shot here.
I was nice all
Peeler,
this time. I
tighten
didn't
the
even say
shot.
anything.
Get her out of here.
No, but it's true. It's like super interesting to see. And I don't even think it's interesting. It's just sad. It's disheartening to see that these polarizing figures who are against causes that are. People work so hard to like get over the civil rights hump, to get over, you know, like let gay people just exist, and then you have these people who are once again trying to other large groups of people and regular people are resonating with them. And it's so sad.
correct me if
It
I'm
seems like it
wrong.
feels like we're going backwards, and I think as a generation who grew up with Barack Obama in 2008, like I feel like Obama was change. Obama could speak eloquently all the time about any subject. He motivated people to vote, right? And we lived through that, and a lot of great things. You know, a lot of good things happened during Obama, like you said, the advancement of LGBTQ rights, all that. You know,
Or maybe it felt that way.
Maybe it
But
felt that
down
way
below,
based-
there was something seething, because how the hell
How do you go from-
did
yeah.
Trump win in 2016? That didn't come out of nowhere.
Well, he didn't win the popular vote, though, right? I mean, that's the other thing. We can look
Sure.
at America's electoral system, and not that Canada's is perfect, but Trump lost the popular vote in 2016. He lost the popular vote in 2020. And the reason we're still talking about him, and the reason he's still front and center, is because he has not shut the hell up since November, or whatever it was, November 6, 2020. Or 2019. He just has
Well,
not shut
And
up.
I mean, think about it. Like, had Trump not been elected then, would we be where we are right now?
You think there'd be
With,
no
like-
trending now?
Well, no, like,
No trending now
No, I
podcast?
mean, like-
Is that the ripple effect of
I mean-
Trump? Is the trending now?
butterfly effect?
The butterfly effect? Twitter exploded once Trump got elected. The word trend became part of our vernacular, and now here we are doing the Trending Now podcast.
I mean, look, Trump, and then now we have, like, you know, Netherlands, we have Argentina, like, And then there's also
Italy.
Elon Musk.
Italy.
Elon Musk, like how much he's kind of going off. Like
a little bit too.
it's just.
He is a conservative.
It almost seems like it's just kind of Trump was the starting to all of that.
Yeah.
It
I
seems
would
like, and
agree.
then from there, like,
yeah.
But it also,
I agree.
to Laura's point, I feel like, it might have opened the door that, I feel this way. Like, people can openly feel as angry as Trump
Oh,
made
he
them
definitely
feel.
did
Like, and
that.
he
That was
knew
100%
how to
the effect.
manipulate emotions. And I watch those interviews, like Jordan Klepper goes, like from The Daily Show, goes
Yeah.
to these Trump rallies, and like, I just don't get it. Like, I don't understand, and it's cult-like, and I've read multiple reports and like scientific studies on the cult-like appeal of someone like Donald Trump. But then you investigate Donald Trump. He's lost more money than any other person in the history of the world. Like, just in terms of how much money he was given. Like, he had a casino go bankrupt. You know how hard it is to bankrupt a casino? And he's failed at
house
everything.
literally always wins.
The only thing he's been successful at, like, relatively, is The Apprentice.
Yeah.
Which launched him into another stratosphere.
TV.
And even on TV, but like that, so that's what
He's
we're
a
doing.
TV guy,
He's a
you know?
TV guy. But that also brought the Access Hollywood tape in 2016 that people were able to move on from. Like,
Yeah.
Very quickly.
like you said, I think we'll look back on 2023 fondly once we get through 24. Because we haven't even talked about Canadian politics. There could be an election called
Which
at
is
any
a
given
gong
time.
show in itself. I mean, that's a whole podcast.
Listen, if I had to make a bold prediction for 2024, I'm not giving any political thought. I just don't understand. Like, I don't think Trudeau lasts the year as the leader of the federal Liberals. Like, he's been in the job for 10 years. I don't know why he wants the job anymore. Like, seeing trucks that have F Trudeau, being harassed everywhere you go. Like, if I'm Trudeau, I have nothing left to prove to myself. Like, I don't know. I don't know why he would still want the job as prime minister. And I think, you watch the Conservatives with another old white dude candidate. Not old, but Pierre Poilievre, Aaron O'Toole, and Andrew Scheer. There's not a whole lot of difference between the three of them.
O'Toole was a much different guy, but that's why he failed.
That's
right?
why he failed.
O'Toole is not. He's not. Poilievre.
How is Jagmeet going to get the NDP motivated? Like,
I don't think he is.
That's what I mean. So
Jagmeet's topped out. He's got that appeal. I don't think he's going to get any more.
Which makes you think that, like, this minority liberal government is just going to keep going until they can't no more, right?
I mean, the history of Canada is flip-flopping from conservative to liberal governments.
Yeah.
Right back to the start. So I personally believe we are going to have a conservative government.
Mm-hmm.
Pierre Poilievre probably is going to be the prime minister. Maybe not.
I don't think that's
have a crystal ball.
wildly.
I don't think that's wildly revolutionary prediction.
No.
I don't know how long that will last, but even if Poilievre isn't a popular figure,
No.
I think when you look at the history of our country, going back and forth has been the way it's always been.
Yeah.
I don't see anything changing right now.
No.
And you talk about Canadian democracy. I mean, we still have not done what Trudeau said he was going to do when he was elected, which was change the first past the post system, make it more fair, have the seats in the House of Commons represent how people really feel, because the Liberals had a majority under Trudeau and the Conservatives had a majority under Harper that didn't reflect the political feeling of our country. It's not like all of a sudden the majority of Canadians became Conservatives when Harper was elected, or the majority of Canadians became Liberal when Trudeau was elected. It's the system that needs to be changed if we want to see more fairness in who gets elected.
Yeah, another reason I think 2024 is going to be one of those years where it's just like we get into March and it's like, Trudeau's calling a snap election. He has some good polling numbers, so he calls a snap election. And I can tell you,
It's possible.
I personally am not prepared for an election.
I will say, my hope for 2024.
Oh, we're being hopeful. I was going to get around to that. I was going to get around and give you a reason to be optimistic for 2024. You want to get to that now? Go for it.
Sure.
Okay.
I don't know, this...
A Barbie sequel.
No, this is not anything set in stone or whatever, but my optimism for 2024 is that Rihanna will release.
Oh my God! Okay, you have been holding on to this optimism for at least a year, though.
No, for like 9 years.
Yeah,
since the
okay,
last time
yeah,
she
since the
released
last
new
album.
music.
But when she was announced as the Super Bowl halftime show, because she's got new music. People don't do this unless they got new music coming. And when she announced she was pregnant.
That was an accident, though. She actually just came out and said that. She was like,
was an accident? She wasn't
planning to like announce she was pregnant, but she couldn't get the zipper to go up any further on her outfit. So she was like, all right, well, I guess this is what we're doing.
Barbie was the #1 movie this past year. Greta Gerwig became the first solo female-directed film to reach $1 billion at the box office. Close behind Barbie, Super Mario Brothers. I've seen Barbie and Oppenheimer in the top 10. That's it.
I've seen Barbie.
You've seen Barbie?
I've seen a few.
Have you seen Barbie?
I haven't seen any of them. I tried to watch Oppenheimer the other night and fell asleep.
It's very long.
I hear it's really good.
I had to take breaks. I had to take breaks. Yeah.
What about?
It's one of those movies. See, I
haven't finished Barbie either yet. I've watched most of it, but I haven't finished it.
There are movies that are like really long where you're checking your watch, like how much you press the button on the remote to see how much time is left. But I felt Oppenheimer went by pretty fast. It was pretty gripping, so I was like in it, and then when it ended, I did not think it felt over 3 hours, but that
because I think like the bomb drops in like hour 2, and there's still like another hour afterward. Because that's like what you're building up for, right? Like you're building up for this bomb to drop. You know how it's gonna end. I mean, it's a
Wait, how
story.
did it end?
A bomb fell. War ended. Across the Spider-Verse. Haven't seen that one.
That one's really good.
I saw that.
It's really good.
Yeah, really good.
Someone told me. Go ahead.
Okay, what I'm hopeful for 2024, now that we're talking about the movie, I really want like this trend of like where you only get half of a movie and you have to wait for part 2 now. I'm pretty tired of that.
Yeah,
I want to just see the full movie.
So, because I've asked for recommendations on, should I rent Into the Spider-Verse? Should I go see it? And everyone I've talked to has said you might as well just wait for part 2 to come out, so you can watch part 1 and then part 2 right away.
That was the biggest problem with the first one.
Because
we
we
just
did,
felt like
but
such a cliffhanger.
Yeah. That was, I didn't know.
2.
I went into that movie not
You're like looking at your watch, being like, they can't possibly solve this in time.
No, literally, that's what I did. I leaned over to my friend. I was like, there's no way. This is getting wrapped up in the next 15 minutes. There's simply no way.
Yeah.
And I did the same thing. This didn't come out last year, but the sequel was supposed to come out this year, but got pushed back because of the Hollywood strikes. The first Dune, I had no idea that was a part 1.
Oh,
so it ends in part. Yes.
Oh.
So it ends and it's like part 1. I was like, wait, what? I was so lost.
Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning.
Advertise that.
Yeah.
Mission Impossible:
I
Dead
saw that.
Reckoning, part 1. That was
That's
part
what I
1.
knew.
Furious, like
I didn't see it.
that.
Wait,
Well,
Fast X was
was
also.
supposed to be the last one, and then apparently all of a sudden it wasn't anymore.
Let's
just like
dollars. I haven't been to the movies to see a
offense, but
movie in
it's
a long time.
embarrassing.
I don't think I went the whole year. I don't think I went the whole year.
For neither of them were
I go at least
blockbusters.
like once a week.
What were they
if I'm
for?
being honest.
I saw Indiana Jones because I wanted to.
Like in like
I'm of that age where I was a kid and I remember the Indiana
I saw
Jones
that one
movies.
in the
So I saw that
theater.
one in theaters, and I saw the Ninja Turtles movie.
Oh,
So
yeah.
saw that in theaters.
That one kind of came and went.
Just I had a weekday off, and I thought, I'm gonna treat myself.
Speaking of movies, let's get back to the Christmas theme. By the way, all these topics going to be going into in depth as part of our Trending Now Year in Review show next week.
2 shows.
2 shows.
2 shows.
Yeah.
Next week.
Next week. Yeah.
All right. Not on Christmas though.
No. They will air
Excuse me.
Tuesday, December 26th through till Friday, December 29th.
Perfect.
so,
So
yeah.
get your fix.
There's a serious one with more serious topics,
Yep.
and then there's a fun one with more fun topics.
And then there's a podcast one, right?
Well,
We're doing it
are you
right
doing
now.
a
Oh, we're doing it
podcast?
right now. We're doing it
This
right
is it.
now. No,
Are you
this is
doing another
this
one
is the
next week?
penultimate show, which means there's gonna be one more.
Yes, next
So
week.
next week
So
will be
stay
the
tuned.
best of the best of.
Aren't you off next week? I'm
It might
off
be
next
Yeah.
week. So
I'm
who's
here.
doing
I'm
this?
here. Yeah,
Louie
I'm
is.
So
here.
you're doing it all by
So
yourself?
I'm
here
gonna put
next week.
together.
Oh, you're
You're here
here?
next
Yeah.
week.
Okay,
What
all
are you
right,
working?
okay.
You're a
So
reporter.
Manesa.
I'm on the evening news.
Oh, okay. Wow. Okay.
I'll be here in spirit with Trending Now.
I've made a deal that next Friday I'll do a best of Trending Now podcast. It'll be a very short episode.
That's fine.
No segments.
Was that a shot?
No segments with Manesa.
That
You
was
said
a
the
shot.
best
That
of,
was a
then
shot.
you can't put any of the stuff that you are on.
Oh.
I'm on all of it, though. I'm on all of it. I pointed this out.
So
We
it
started
should
the
be-
Trending Now podcast. The first ever Trending Now podcast I ever did was with a handheld mic and a VJ camera, like leaning on the sports desk over there, being like, "Welcome to the Trending Now podcast. I'm your host, Louie Butko."
For some reason-
we started that back in February, and we launched
used
CHH
different
podcast in
mics, 'cause I
September.
remember, like,
Oh, it
mine,
sounded awful.
it's-
Yeah, it sounded awful. And I was like, I think I might need a team to help me with this. And so Mike Corsten was recruited, and we've been having a lot of fun. But yeah, CHH
Well,
podcast.
thank you
Make sure to like and
for-
subscribe.
for doing this for us. Thank you so much,
Oh my
Louie. You're
gosh.
so great
Oh my
at it.
Peanut butter
gosh.
and
Stop.
Christmas presents.
All right, stop,
Sure
stop,
love
stop.
the attention, brother.
But we're because I actually got to host this show too, which was kind of fun. Yeah, right. Because I know Kelly obviously has an announcement that she made on your show. I don't want to spoil anything.
She had a baby.
Oh, she had a baby? Oh, yeah, we said that.
said it on the podcast.
4 months ago.
Mentioned it multiple times. But she went off early, and I got to host a TV show for the very first time in my career.
Yay.
Because little Gia.
Good job. Good job.
Oh, I had a 50-50 chance. I had a 50-50 chance. Because little Gia came early, couldn't wait. So I got to host it a couple times.
She's fired up to get here.
There's the now iconic Halloween episode.
Yeah.
Which will live in infamy at
Which
this
also,
place. A lot of
I'm
things
not gonna
behind the
out you,
scenes.
but yeah, there was some behind the scenes stuff that also makes it an iconic.
behind the scenes
I remember that day. I think
that
everyone
was-
remembers.
So
Yeah, I
to
think
the
everybody,
viewers
yes.
in Niagara, if you see Louie out and about,
In a
ask
clown.
him what happened the day they filmed the Halloween
That was a
Trending
fun
Now
day. That was a
special.
fun day. You know, nothing better like looking for a costume on Halloween.
Hey, that was
you
your
told
own
me.
fault.
No, you said your dad was going to be able to. You would have had some things.
You were told
that
to
your
wear a
dad
costume.
could have probably.
Yeah, but then I was like, "Do you own a Superman shirt?"
Oh,
'Cause
yeah,
you
and then I
and you were
forgot
like,
that.
"Oh,
Yeah, I
perfect,
forgot it.
easy," and
Yeah,
then you
I
forgot
forgot
it.
it.
So I didn't bring you anything from home because you
I'm
said
very
you had
forgetful.
it covered.
All right, like I said, those topics, some of those topics we've discussed coming up next week on the best of the Trending Now recap year in review show. Fun one, serious one next week. Let's get back to Christmas. You were working on a story today on just the pop culture around Christmas. What's your favorite? What's a go-to? What's something you have to watch when it comes to Christmas? So many. Go for it.
But I always like to watch Home Alone, and I always like to watch Elf.
Classic.
And they're funny, they're enjoyable, and they make me cry at the end, which is my favorite.
Elf makes you cry at the end?
Yes, when everybody believes in Santa.
And he comes in the park? That makes you cry.
Because everybody believes in Santa. It's a nice moment. And then his dad believes too. I'm a sap around
Home
the
Alone?
holidays.
You kind of perked
Home
up
Alone.
when you said Home Alone, Manesa?
Home Alone is my favorite.
What about? I was always scared of Home Alone because of the furnace scene in the basement. It got me because the whole point was it scared Kevin, right?
Yes,
like that's the whole point. It scares Kevin. I always got scared of it too. I was very not squeamish. I was very cowardly as a child. Better word, I guess. Because that movie scared me, and
he's still single,
I had
ladies.
two
He's
older
still
sisters.
single.
Yo, what up? Because I had two older sisters who were like borderline bullies, but not quite, like older sisters are. So there was that movie they used to scare me, and then there was Alice in Wonderland would just always give me the heebie-jeebies. Not a Christmas
That one was a
movie,
little
but that
creepy.
one just always even to this day, I don't think I could sit down and watch Alice in Wonderland without being tripped out by it. I find it really creepy for some reason.
I find the Grinch
You
movie,
don't like the
very-
Grinch.
That's creepy to me. I don't
Brian
know what
Foley,
it
our
is.
Carrey,
sports
right?
anchor, she
Yeah.
loves the Grinch.
just-
She
I
loves the
Loves
Grinch.
that Grinch.
I don't know what it is. It just
I like the
and I s-
original, the little cartoon man.
Yeah, the cartoon one is
cartoon
great.
one was
Wait, you
fine.
don't like
It was
the
when
Jim
they-
Carrey one?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, the cartoon Grinch isn't scary. He's a cute little guy.
Yeah, it's cute.
There it
He's a cute little guy. He's on my shirt.
Matt, favorite Christmas movie or must-watch?
Muppet Christmas Carol.
Muppet Christmas
Definitely.
Carol?
Muppet Christmas Carol.
Michael Caine, yeah.
It's in the giving that the street won't acquire. Something like that. It's really good. Plus Die Hard. You gotta watch
Die
that.
Hard.
It's
Oh,
not
Die Hard.
Christmas until you watch Die Hard.
fair.
So my family's tradition is New Year's or Christmas Eve. the like 1956 Christmas Carol with
Alistair,
Alistair,
whatever.
that one.
Yep.
And then It's a Wonderful Life.
That's a good one. My
It's a
mom
Wonderful Life is an all-time.
that entire movie.
Yeah.
I feel
time a bell rings,
Yeah.
an angel
That
gets
gets his
That's right.
wings.
That's right. That's something my
Yeah.
dad always says. Like even to this
yeah.
day, he's like, "That's right. That's right."
Yeah,
but
Mom
it's a
would be
classic.
sobbing on the couch.
Jimmy Stewart, great classic. Okay, I wanted to ask you this: Christmas songs. Is there a
That's
Christmas?
so hard.
Is there? You love all Christmas songs?
Most.
Okay, so have you been listening to them nonstop?
Yes.
I listen to Frank Sinatra Christmas on the way here
Good
to
one.
get in the mood.
Good one.
Well, I've also been
Holly.
using my satellite radio holiday music
Yeah.
channel since late November. Infrequently, just to
Okay.
try and get in the festive spirit. There are some Christmas songs I can go with without ever hearing again.
That's fine.
Top of the list, Christmas Shoes.
Why are you hating on
Christmas
such an
shoes?
emotional song?
It's a story. It's like a singing story where this
never heard Christmas
little
Shoes?
kid goes to buy
Sir, I
Christmas
wanna
shoes.
buy these
Wait, we can't have
shoes.
music, or else we're gonna get flagged and they're gonna pull us.
My mama, please.
think I know this one.
It is
He goes into the
whoa.
store. He's a little kid. I don't know how. Do they
His
say how
mom's
old he
about
is?
to die.
His mom's like dying of cancer,
Oh, no.
and he wants to buy her shoes, but he doesn't
But it's
have any
not.
money.
It's emotional manipulation, though. Like
Wow.
it is.
What?
My mom, you want to hear a funny
Entertainment
story? The first
Yeah,
time
seriously.
my mom heard that song, she has a very vivid memory. She was driving on the Skyway and she literally had to pull over
On the
when she
Skyway?
got to the bottom of the Skyway because she was crying so hard she couldn't see.
your poor mom.
And she was like, what a terrible song.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Mrs. Sebben. I'm sorry for bashing your favorite song.
I don't think it's her favorite. She just was like, what a crazy song. It hit her right in the feels. She wasn't
Chipmunks.
expecting it.
Chipmunks. Chipmunks Christmas song
Good
where it's
one.
really high pitch.
It's okay.
You really love all Christmas music, don't
I
you?
do.
You're very festive.
I
Hence
am.
the outfit.
Well, I'm going to. It sounds
Oh.
weird to say a Christmas party, but it's like a friend's Christmas party, and we like to dress nice for
Oh,
it,
so it's a classy,
yeah.
like a classy.
It's
The only
classy.
classy Christmas presents, classy Christmas parties I go to are the ones that are like classy with a K, like that kind of classy.
What is
What is that
mean?
kind of
this,
classy?
like this.
K-car,
Yeah.
Is that what we're doing here? Yeah.
No, it's not classy at
not
all,
okay.
right? Like it's
no,
not
we
classy.
have to.
Cassie.
Classy.
Like I
You've got
never
prosecco.
knew.
You're bringing prosecco, so it's very classy.
I never knew people
Damn.
didn't not dress up for Christmas until I got like older because Christmas Eve at my aunt's house, everybody was dressed nice. Christmas Day at my house, everybody was dressed nice, and I didn't know until like later in life. My friend was like, "Oh yeah, I've just put my pajamas on to go over to my aunt's house." I'm like,
Yeah,
"What do you
but-
mean?"
I mean, that can be based on
It's in my head that like you dress nice when
Yeah.
you go see your family for Christmas.
But my mom also like drilled in my head that like you don't leave the house in sweatpants and pajama pants
that
and things
too.
like that.
So what
yeah.
happened?
Yeah,
I know,
I
so
gave
literally.
up. I know.
Become a doll.
My ripped jeans and I'm on television in ripped jeans. I really don't
Many a
care.
time as a child, you'd come out of your room all like excited, and mom would be like,
No.
"Turn around. That's not the outfit you're wearing." I one time tried to wear jeans to church. That was a whole ordeal. Whole ordeal.
Oh yeah, we.
8-year-old Laura. She
That
didn't
was
know.
like we
I was like,
we
"Put my
opened
jeans
presents,
on."
but then had to go to church. Like that was the deal. Like it wasn't
Yes.
I was my parents are good that we didn't have to go to church first, but it was part of the
Yes.
deal that you had to go to church
Yeah,
afterwards.
it was presents, then church, then it transitioned as we got older to midnight mass.
Oof.
And now it just
Midnight.
doesn't happen anymore.
Okay. Manesa, you were telling me earlier you got a very love-hate relationship with the song.
I absolutely love Mariah. Let's try that again. Mariah Carey's Christmas song, "All I Want for Christmas."
Is
Yeah,
you,
it's a big
Is
one.
you? Is you?
you love it?
Yeah, I love it, but I hate it at the same time. I absolutely love the
Think
song.
it's overplayed.
Yeah.
It's definitely overplayed.
fair.
You
The
saw
second
her,
it's
didn't you?
the
You saw her
first time
last
it
year?
gets
I
played,
did.
I'm
Yeah.
literally like dancing, and
Yeah.
then the second time I'm like, like are we hearing
No.
this again? But I love the song. I absolutely love it. It still makes me dance to it and
Yeah.
everything,
Yeah.
but I'm also kind of sick of hearing it.
Yeah, I hear ya.
But I'm also like not like a Christmas yay person. Like,
I'm kind of in the same, but like I put up a Christmas tree. I've only been doing that for the last 3 years, just like a little apartment-sized one. Like I've been trying to like force myself more in the Christmas spirit, but even that, it's like, you know, I don't have a like Christmas sweater. I might have had to borrow this one. Like because it's fun and I like it and I get it, but it's not. I'm not a diehard.
No, I am.
You
and
are.
and this is the thing. I told my mom, I was like, I blame you guys because you guys did all this stuff
Yeah.
and you like instilled that it was like a happy time, a time for family. Like it
That's
wasn't
good.
even
that.
as
you
like.
blame them for that.
No,
Like,
but then, because then,
horrible thing to blame your parents parents for? What a horrible thing to blame your
No, because
parents
what I was
for.
gonna say is they're in like that age where they're like over it, right? But I'm not yet. So when 4 years ago, my dad and mother decided that we weren't going to have a real Christmas tree anymore, I had a toddler type fit. Like I cried.
That doesn't surprise
I
me.
yelled. I was so upset. I'm like, how can you start this tradition and then rip it away from me? So then I now buy a separate Christmas tree. It's a real one, and it goes in the basement.
Oh my
Because I'm like,
gosh.
you can't. And my mom had a hard time letting go too, because her parents always did a real Christmas tree, and that was why it became a thing. But I'm like, you like instill these like crazy traditions, and then when you don't want to do them anymore, but I'm still like hanging out with you guys at Christmas, I'm like, what's happening?
I think for me, like being again, like having a big family, and to that point, like always having Christmas. Like my parents still have a real tree, but it's not really decorated the way it would have been, type thing. But it was that first time, like you didn't open presents on Christmas morning. Like as an adult, you were just like, oh, we're gonna do presents after dinner. It's like, oh, that's weird. Like that's different. Like the first time, like it was like Christmas Eve, and I slept in my own house and didn't wake up with my parents. Like that one was like tough for me.
I don't think I can
little
do
things
that.
like growing up.
hard
Growing up
because
is hard. Yeah,
Christmas
good point.
is about traditions.
Yeah.
But life is about growing up and evolving.
Ah,
and everything
no.
changes every year. So
No.
if you're holding on to those traditions, at some point, no matter who you are, you gotta let go.
I told my mom, I'm like,
I'm with you, man. I'm ready to let go. I'm ready to let go.
I was like, when I
have
move
zero time
out-
off this Christmas, other than Christmas.
I was like,
There
when
you
I
go.
move out on Christmas Eve, when we go to Aunt Helena's house, I'm gonna come home with you guys and sleep over, and then we'll all be together on Christmas morning.
Yeah, that's what my mom asked me today. She's like, so we'll see you Christmas morning? Like, you're not going to come, for pierogies and drinks? And I was like, no, I'll probably be here Christmas Eve. Pierogies, I've had too much. I'm going to bed. I usually normally get sick at Christmas because I do take time off. And I usually, like, when I stop, it's just like, oh, it attacks.
body
But now I'm
allows.
not taking time off, so I'm assuming I'll be fine
keep going.
for Christmas.
Yeah.
Just keep going. Power through.
Being here Boxing Day.
Couple of eggnogs.
Yeah, right? I'm here on Boxing Day.
I'm here on Boxing Day.
yeah.
too.
I got the week off.
Good for you.
I did. I looked up because I was very bad at taking vacation this year. I have 106 hours of vacation from this year
That's a fair bit.
that I have to somehow find a way to use. So, Greg, if you're listening, be prepared for several weeks of vacation requests
Several
coming in the next couple
Why
of
not?
days. This has been a lot of fun all year with
Yes.
all of you, including Manesa.
Yeah.
Why including Manesa?
including Manesa. We should give a shout out, to Jason and Emily Taylor, and of
Yes.
course Nicole
And Kelly.
and
And
our
Justin and
editors,
Francesca.
Justin, Francesca,
Yes.
but everyone who's filled in,
Yeah.
Kyle Miller, Matt Weeks, Jasmine's filled in.
Yulia.
Julia.
Christina.
Our
Yep.
director today is Justin Peeler, so
Yep.
thanks
Yeah,
to
the people
him.
not
JP.
here,
All the
Bill
people
and
who aren't
Chantel
here.
and Alex.
We couldn't do what we do without them.
100%.
So, from all of us here sitting on this couch, thank you guys behind the camera.
Thank you so much.
But also those listening, and thank you, because you know what? I say it every time that we could not do the show without your support, that being our
Yes.
listeners. And listen, I'm not saying we're the biggest podcast in the world by any stretch. But those people who do listen in on a consistent basis, I've had people stop me on the street and talk about our show and talk about this podcast. So we are grateful to get to do this. I know I am. And we do like to bitch and complain, when the cameras are off. But this isn't too bad of a job, I guess.
Did you tell your grandma to stop stopping you on the street?
No,
Like, it must be annoying, right? They're same relatives.
Meme,
You
it's
said,
fine. I get it.
I get it. You like my
Also,
show,
I have to give a shout out to Levi, that being my almost 1-year-old nephew, who never misses an episode. So Levi, if you're watching, go to bed. But Merry Christmas.
That is one of our strongest demographics, 0 to 2 years old.
0 to 2
I'm pretty sure.
and 80 plus.
And 80 plus.
Yeah.
I got that covered.
I know Adina takes credit for all our viewers. Your viewership's high because I tell everybody to watch. I'm like, thanks, Nona.
Well, thank you guys for doing this. As always, I know you're in the middle of doing your show, so this saved me some time of and saved Peeler not having to do the stat over there. So
Way easier.
everybody's way easier. All right, once again, thank you for joining us. us. We will be back with a new episode, kind of like a clip show episode, right?
yeah.
We're calling it new. We'll be back with an episode to wrap up the year. The best of the Trending Now podcast will be available next Friday. But as mentioned, make sure to like and subscribe to CHCH Podcast so you never miss an episode. And make sure you follow us on all our Trending Now socials. And if you're watching, you can see them right there on the screen. Once again, thank you to everybody who helped make this show a possibility, not just this one today, but throughout the year, Trending Now included. Guys, any final word, Manesa? No time for Manesa's final word. Thanks for joining us. Have a good Christmas.